Welcome back, nerds. We are your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake,
This week we are sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
and we are also sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
Oh, I got it. Okay, I was like, what did I write here? This leave it in. We're good. We're
I'm not cutting it.
good. This week we are talking about upcoming movies and TV shows in 2022.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But we're also talking, well, not talking, but we're going to continue we will talk about it, but we are continuing our dive for our throwback series on the Harry Potter films with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
We're just gonna stare intently rather than talking.
Yeah, we're just going to know. You guys just have to know what we're thinking. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast. Nerd.
Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. So, Chad, how we doing?
Well, we're doing good. We just had like a couple of holidays back to back. I signed a lease on a new apartment, which is
Back in Minnesota.
back in Minnesota. Absolutely.
Woo!
So we're just a
A
shoot.
huge,
A few short weeks away from that. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to move back. I honestly miss the cities, so I will be moving back. But outside of that, how was your past couple of weeks?
Are you
How
okay?
was no?
Are you having
Clearly
a
not.
stroke?
I've clearly been enjoying some adult beverages more than I have the past couple of weeks. We're good though.
I've
But
been doing
how
great.
was your
This
week?
this so I've had two 4-day weekends back to back with Christmas and now New Year's. It's
Jealous.
been amazing. Yeah. And
I've had two
this
back-to-back 3-day weekends, so it's not
this
that jealous.
this past weekend was amazing. It was my girlfriend Nicole's 30th birthday. It was also New Year's Eve, which is her birthday. New Year's Day, which we had her surprise birthday party that I threw for her. I've never thrown a surprise party for anybody in my entire life, and it turned out really, really well.
You also have next year for me.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
We also had our 1 year anniversary, which was yesterday. It was a big weekend. We had a lot of fun. The surprise party was a blast. Uh, uh, as some of you may have heard my story, or those of you who have listened have heard my story about last weekend where I accidentally pinched her stepdad and thinking it was my friend Mike. This weekend he pinched me back, and it was very hard and aggressive. I
That's so
didn't
great
like it.
though.
And he audibly
Wah.
yelled pinch when he did it. He was like pinch, and I was like, oh, that hurt.
That's so everyone knew it happened.
Yeah, but it
I
was a lot of
support
fun.
it. I support his decision.
Yeah, we had a ton of fun. Yeah, that's pretty much everything over here. Oh, I got Nicole a tattoo yesterday for her birthday present. Yeah, that's
It's
pretty
so
cool.
rad.
Yeah.
I'm
What about
still
you?
waiting on my.
How's Ohio?
Well, I watched a lot of TV and movies. Um,
We did too. Actually.
well, the book of Boba Fett came out, which I'm eager to see where it goes. The first episode of the season was a little bit underwhelming, but at the same time, like, has me excited for the show. If that makes sense. Like, it wasn't what I wanted it to be, but like, I'm stoked for it.
I haven't watched it yet. I'll watch it before next week's episode, I promise.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the first couple episodes next week, I'm sure. But also, this has been a long time coming for me, because I spent my 11th birthday going to see the first Harry Potter film, and on HBO Max they have the 20-year reunion
Mm.
for the Harry Potter films.
20 years later, baby.
20 years after
That's
the first film
insane.
came out, which yeah, because like I grew up on that shit.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic. It was sentimental. It was emotional, but also it was just like fun to like see different characters interact, like behind the scenes.
Was your
It was
mind blown on how good Neville looks now?
uh now I feel bad because I can't remember his real last name. Uh his real name, first name in real life is Matthew something. Uh I knew that he looked great.
Prior to, but yeah, same.
But it's
Oh
also
yeah,
weird to like see him talk because you're like,
yeah,
this dude is good looking, and
yeah.
then you hear him talking, you're like, oh, that's Neville. Wait,
That's so funny.
but yeah, it's fantastic. Um, it snowed in Ohio today, and it's still a sad snow. It just covered all the rain and mud from the past like week.
The only thing the snow does here is cover up the dog poop so I can't find it in my yard.
We did not get enough snow for that. So as I was walking my dog, I was like, "Oh, look at all the mud, the brown footprints that did not go away." As I was walking, and I was like, "Oh, that's mud. That's all that it is here." Oh man, can't wait to move.
All right, well that being said, I think we're gonna just jump into sponsor one. Crybaby Craig's hot sauce, pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce. It goes on practically anything. Check it out. Seriously, the shit is bomb. I've got bottles upon bottles in this house. Listen up. I'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds! Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. All right, guys. So for the first part of this episode, since it is the first episode of the new year, there is so much to talk about. And by so much, I mean so much stuff that's coming up that we really want to talk about.
A lot of new shit coming out. We're excited about it.
So
Not just Marvel, but DC and other things as well. Honestly,
yeah. So to start, well, I mean, I'm gonna let you decide on the spot, Jake. Do you want to talk about the MCU Disney Plus shows that are supposed to come out this year, or do you want to start with
yeah.
movies that
No,
encapsulate everything?
let's start with the shows, and then let's go to movies because then we got to talk about not just Marvel movies, but like DC and shit like that too. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So, what for TV shows that have been announced for the 2022, and obviously with like the world situation, you know, a lot of the stuff is still speculative. Some of it can be pushed,
Yeah.
but to start, I mean, we are supposed to get Miss Marvel
Mm-hmm.
uh, on Disney Plus this year, sometime in the summer. It's still kind of up in the air as to which month we're supposed to get it, but we're supposed to get Miss Marvel, which, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Stoked
Kamala
for it.
Khan.
Kamala
Khan.
Khan. we will we'll see how they I've heard online that they're kind of going to go away from the like the inhuman
Mm,
aspect of the story, which does bum me out. But I'm
yeah,
hoping that they that's just rumors, that's not real. Cuz the Inhumans play a major role in the comics.
yeah.
So I'm hoping that we get a lot of that. We're all supposed to get She-Hulk.
Woo!
Oh my god,
I'm
it's going to be
excited about this.
so
It's
good.
another fourth wall breaking. If you don't know what that is, basically how Deadpool talks to the camera or audience, as well as filming.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be
That's
a
what the
fourth wall
fourth wall
breaking.
is. But yeah.
Yeah, just for people who didn't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're supposed to get that. We also know that Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock slash Daredevil, is supposed to reprise his role in
Mm.
that show as well. So very exciting things coming. We got to fly through these. I want to spend like 30 seconds on these. There's so
Yeah.
many to talk
We're
about.
also supposedly supposed to get season 2 of What If,
Mm,
which would be fantastic. I mean, we'll see where they go with it because basically the end credit scenes of the first season was going back
mhm.
to Agent Carter or episode 1 of
Yeah.
the What If series. So we'll see if they still kind of do what you said was like season 2 will just continue each of those individual stories, or if
I
it's
don't
going to be
think
more of
that's
a
what's going to be happening. I wanted it to be that. I thought that would have been cool, but I don't think that's how they're
that
going to
would
do
have
it.
been cool. We will see if that's actually what actually happens. I kind of
Yeah.
hope so, but I mean, looking less and less at this point in time.
Yeah.
But also, we get to see Moon Knight.
Woo! Oscar Isaac, who
Oh,
also will be playing another Marvel role, in which we'll talk about in the movie section of this, but he'll be playing Spider-Man 99 in
oh,
or
yeah,
20 20 2099.
yeah,
Sorry.
2099. Yeah,
Spider-Man 99. He uses rocks instead of no, I'm just sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
He
But yeah,
he uses
anyways.
bamboo strings to capture rocks and throw them at people. Uh,
He was David against David and Goliath. Yeah.
oh, what if? Oh wait, no, that's
Anyways, yeah, we get the Moon Knight series. I think this is gonna be awesome.
rumor
Uh,
has it that we're supposed to get it in the next like month or two.
yeah,
I hope
he's
that's the case.
so this would be in my opinion, just based on what I know about Moon Knight and like the comics and whatever. He is very similar to Deadpool in a way, in brutality for one, and two, he's schizophrenic, so he has multiple uh personalities. Where I know Deadpool doesn't have that, but
He
it'll be
might.
fun. It'll be kind of funny in that way. He does not break the fourth wall that I know of. But I think it'll be very funny to see, as where Deadpool will like argue with the audience and shit like that. I think Moon Knight will kind of argue with himself. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun to
I
watch.
think that that's I think that Moon Knight is going to be super important on multiple reasons. One, for like the fourth wall break,
Mhm.
because he will inevitably argue with himself
Yeah.
between his personalities and kind of like jump between like
Mm.
the main personality, the one that's antagonizing him, and we kind of like argue back and forth
Mm.
to where it's almost a fourth wall break,
Mm.
setting up She Hulk and Deadpool. But also, Moon Knight is incredibly aggressive and, how do I put this delicately, violent.
Yeah, it'll be
Um,
brutal. They said
and
this will be the Disney Plus's most like violent MCU
and I think
series.
it's gonna be a test to see if Deadpool can exist in the Disney Plus, or if it's gonna have to be like a movie sort of thing.
Deadpool's already signed up for a movie, bro.
Well, I know, but like if Deadpool can like exist in the Disney Plus like TV series, or if it's just like something where like
Yeah.
it's just movies,
I
just
this is a
standalones that kind of tie in. Like,
this is way off base, and I just want to mention it just because I like to whatever. This is what we do. Uh, I would really, really, really like to see. So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse Madness is gonna bring in all of these cameos from like different. We're supposed to get Tom Cruise as Iron Man, Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, both Professor X's from the. This is all rumors, by the way. I don't know that this is actually going to happen, but I would love to see maybe even as just an end credit scene. Just they have not explained how or why Ryan Reynolds Deadpool is going to come from the Fox's universe to the MCU, but it is confirmed that Ryan Reynolds Deadpool will be joining the MCU universe.
Yeah.
And I think this movie would be the movie to do it. And it would be awesome if it was just an end credit scene, like him, like, I don't know, just like waking up like
Showing
somewhere
up.
and just being like, where the fuck am I? Like just something dumb, you know what it's just what
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Or I would also accept Luis from the Ant-Man series explaining everything.
Yeah.
Either one. You, Kevin, can I call you Kevin? Okay, Kevin. We're not putting you like in a box here or limiting what you can and cannot do, but like one of those two.
Mr. Feige, I think would be
Yeah, that sounds too formal to me. Like, just hey Kevin, one or the other. I mean, you choose. It's completely up to you however you want to do it, but like one or the other.
yeah. Or like fully bring him in. I'm
Yeah, or
game for that too.
do that
Yeah.
too. I'm not going to argue with Kevin. But with that, so I mean that kind of closes out like what we're expected to see for 2022, at least for
Um,
like major things.
yeah.
But going into like film and stuff outside of the MCU, I mean like in January, I mean let's first off I just have to mention because we quoted a lot. Supposedly Letterkenny season 10 is out. I have not looked for it yet, but supposedly that's out there. And you said Cobra Kai came out. You started watching it,
I
or you
finished it
finished
already.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not.
Cobra Kai season 4.
I'm excited for it. I haven't watched it, but mainly because I did watch the first episode of the Book of Boba.
Mm.
Sorry, Book of
Hmm.
Boba Fett. Because if I say the Book of Boba, a bunch of like
Like bubble
hipsters
tea.
are gonna be like, "Oh, so there's like a book on tea and you read it?" Like, no, fam, no.
Yeah. I'm making my way through The Witcher season 2. I'm only like halfway through right now, but I'll get there.
Which I enjoyed the season of The Witcher. I don't know if it's as much as the first season, but I enjoyed it. But also like the Book of Boba. I mean, we'll talk about that probably next week. The first couple episodes. We got that. So that's over the next few weeks. The new remake. They basically saw how well like the reboot reissue, if you will, of Halloween did. But now they're doing
Oh yeah.
Scream.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Courtney Cox is coming back, and like that's really about
Court. Did
it.
you say Courtney Botox? What'd you say?
Yeah, exactly.
I missed what you said.
Yes, Courtney Botox.
That
You
was
know what?
mean. That was so
Say
mean.
what you want. Even with the Botox, I think Courtney Cox still looks great.
Mm.
Not as good as what Avino.
Jennifer.
Not as I was gonna say, not as well as what Avino has done for Jennifer's skin. But still looks great. I'm still stoked about it. But realistically, at the second half of January, we do get Morbius
Woo.
coming out from Sony. You say that superficially.
Hold on. Okay, so for first off, I have not bashed, but I have expressed my
Discontent.
dislike. Yeah, because I think that after Venom 2, that Sony sucks dicks at making movies like this. But the only reason that I am maybe a little tiny, little bit excited for this is because after the success of Spider-Man No Way Home,
Nowhere.
uh,
Nowhere.
Nowhere home. You have nowhere to go home. That Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man may be getting a revival in
That
this
is a
universe
huge
of
rumor, is that he's
and
actually filmed scenes for this.
I have, if you guys go back and listen or remember, I have expressed that even though I love Tom Holland, I really do. Okay.
Oh, he's done great.
Andrew Garfield is my favorite fucking Spider-Man by
Yeah.
like a long run. So I would love to see him get some more movies. I feel like his story was not I don't feel like his story was unfinished. It was unfinished because it got canceled, and I would love to see where he ends up, especially after seeing how like sad and like tortured he was in Nowhere Home. No Way Home.
Nowhere
Jesus
again.
fucking Christ.
No, but
Episode's over.
with with that being said, though, like that has been like the underlying rumor is that this actually takes place in Andrew Garfield's Spider Verse, like in his particular universe of Spider Man,
Yeah.
Spider Man, whatever,
Yeah.
Spider Man,
Spider-Man.
Spider Man.
Spider-Ham.
I
Peter
mean,
Porker.
that was, Battle of the Sketches recently.
I know
For
I
those
saw
of
that.
the for those of
I
you guys
have
that
not
don't know and you like to
entered yet.
draw, if you remember, this is months ago now. For both Jerry Ma and
Ken.
and Ken, there's a thing on Instagram for Battle of the Sketches. So if you guys are like follow either of them, but check it out. It's a great way to get involved with the indie artist realm. But they just did Spider Ham. That's what
Yeah.
spurred that. So sorry guys. But with that, let's move on. We all hope
Yeah.
that Andrew Garfield has something to do with future Spider-Man projects.
Yeah.
And if it's Morbius, like I'm totally okay with that because
Mhm.
it'll at least give a little bit more life into the film that I have a little expectations for, other than it's going to look good. I think it's going to be another Venom film, but if they can tie it into something more, I'm for it 100%.
Yeah.
With that being said, there's a super underwhelming looking film that comes out on the same day as Jackass 4 called Moonfall. I don't really care much for it. It looks weird, except for the fact that Sam from Game of Thrones is in it. It's about where the moon explodes and there's aliens.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a preview for that. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
dumb.
fine. But Jackass 4 comes out on that day, so like at least like our nostalgic like teenage self can like
Yeah. Just gonna watch a bunch of old guys get beat up by bulls and
and
shit
like
like
put
that.
a
It'll be a
sock on
good
the
time.
door and then use the
Yeah.
other sock for something else. I don't know what. And then in February, we get Uncharted. I'm really hopeful for this film.
I'm hopeful for it,
I
but
love everyone
his
involved in it so far, but
historically, video game movies have been shit shows.
what, you didn't think Doom with Carl Urban and The Rock was awesome?
First of all, yes, I actually kind of did.
No one thought that. You're wrong.
I didn't think it was awesome. I enjoyed it though, but I just like
It was just like a first person sort of thing, so like that was kind of cool.
I mean, we had what the Assassin's Creed movie. I think they
Oh,
made a
God.
second one too that nobody.
They
even,
made a second one?
I'm pretty sure.
It
Yeah.
did well enough for a sec. Oh, fuck.
No, they were terrible. They had Prince of Persia that starred a white guy with brown hair, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
He is the Prince of
a
Persia.
real looking Persian.
It was. I mean, I just. Ugh. Video game movies just don't do well.
The
Resident Evil, I'm sorry, Mila Jovovich, I love you, but the movies are terrible. They rebooted it. I watched it 3 times to try to finish it because I kept falling asleep to it. It was so bad, and I basically just gave up on it. And
well, the
I haven't
Resident Evil
finished
movies,
it.
their thing was they had the
They
CG
sucked.
they had the CGI films that like fit in between the films, and then they tried to reboot it live action. And it was like
Yeah,
you didn't need to
they were
because
just
the
so
live
bad.
action ones weren't good to begin with.
Yeah,
Granted, I say that as someone who watched the first 3 live action films with yeah, like you said, Mila
Jova
or
Jovovich.
Djokovic. I know her last name. There's a K somewhere in there. I'm assuming it's Djokovic. I can be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it later. Probably wrong. They if they didn't have the term Resident Evil on it, they probably would have actually done better. I
They're
said
really
I said
bad, dude.
they weren't great. The first couple weren't the worst thing to have tied to Resident Evil, but they also should not have been tied to Resident Evil.
I actually didn't hate the first one. I just didn't like it.
Well, because it had very little to do with the game. And it
Mm.
was tied to the game, and it was just like can
Oh,
we not? Can we just like make a zombie movie that maybe
yeah.
pulls influence instead of calling it the Umbrella Corporation,
Mm.
just call it like the awning corporation. You know, something. Could have
And then
done
yeah,
better.
the reboot is just terrible.
That's really unfortunate. But Uncharted looks great. It's Tom Holland, Marky Mark. It's gonna be fun. And then, going into March, I mean, we get the Batman, which is probably outside of anything Marvel, is probably the most hyped movie that I'm stoked for.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's gonna be great. We get Battinson, which rolls off the tongue a lot better than Batflick, even though I loved Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and Batman. But it looks fantastic, and pre-screening review says that it rivals The Dark Knight. After these few like previews that we've had for it, like
I'm excited
I
for it.
I believe it. Like I'm excited
Yeah.
for it. I don't think I'm gonna work it up in my head and then she'd be like, "That's no Dark Knight," but I think it's gonna be great.
Hmm.
I'm
I like
really,
Matt
I'm
Reeves. I do like Matt Reeves. So
yeah. There's a lot of hype for it, and I'm stoked for it. Sorry, we spent a lot of time like for the first like few months of the year, and we're only in April. In April, we're supposed to get Sonic 2.
hmm
It's gonna be great. Who's playing
Jim
Knuckles?
Idris Elba.
Oh,
And we also get Jim Carrey reprising his role, which makes me very, very happy.
yeah, and it Ben Schwartz, still as Sonic.
Yeah.
Like
No.
it's gonna be fun. I'm
Don't
the
be
first.
suspicious. Don't
Don't
be
be
suspicious.
suspicious. The first one really surprised me because like I went into it being like, this is gonna be a joke. It's gonna be
Oh, a
corny as
video
fuck.
game movie that was actually good.
Yeah, it
Woo.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was what I expected it to be, but like way better. And then also we get to see the next Fantastic Beasts film.
hmm Indifferent.
I'm
Uh,
torn.
ex-
It looks really good, but
very
it's
excited about
not
it.
Johnny Depp.
Really bummed out Johnny Depp's not in it. We both agree that we love Mads Mikkelsen as an actor, and I'm happy that he got the role. But I'm very upset that Amber Heard took this from Johnny Depp.
Yeah, if Mads Mikkelsen had been in it from day one, I would never complain.
Yeah.
Especially with the first couple movies, like I would have loved him in the role of Grindelwald.
hmm
But the fact that they did the actor change because of the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing,
Yeah.
I'm going in with a salted taste, but it's still going to be great because like I still love the series and I
Yeah.
love Mads Mikkelsen, so like I still have high hopes for it. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. You excited for it.
And then we get to the month of May, we're going to see Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Oh, that looks great.
We kind of talked about that a little bit already. We gotta move through these a little faster.
Yeah, and then we also get the League of Super Pets. I mean, it is what it is. It exists.
Dwayne Johnson as Crypto the Super Dog, which
It's
is Superman's
it's
dog.
gonna be funny because Kevin Hart and Dwayne the Rock Johnson are both in it. Like
Yeah.
you can't deny how funny they are,
Yeah.
especially together. Uh, we'll see. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be like the Lego Movie, where it's gonna be funny, but like I can exist without it.
Yeah.
Uh, and then like the Top Gun and John Wick 4, which love both of the predecessors for it, but like I'm excited for it, but like, am I?
I think
I am.
I think though
I
in
really
I
am.
think I think Top Gun is going to be more about Miles Teller's character as Goose's son rather than Tom Cruise.
I hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be Mission Impossible in
Yeah, with
between
airplanes.
with airplanes, which
Yeah,
we'll get to the fact that there's another Mission Impossible supposedly coming out this year.
I
Um,
love the. I don't give a shit.
oh, I love
Mission.
them.
I love Mission Impossible
They
movies,
are the Fast and the Furious, but
but I hate the
better.
Fast and Furious movies.
Well, yeah, because
After Paul Walker, what's the point? If he's not in it, who gives
family,
a shit?
family is the point. Okay,
I don't give a
family.
shit about those movies without Paul Walker in it.
So you don't give a shit about family? That's fine. Whatever.
I
Oh,
mean,
oh, that got sad.
keep going, keep going.
We're all supposed to get like Jurassic World coming out.
Woo! Where they're merging the original cast from the original Jurassic Park. Sam Neill, what's that chick's name? Oh
Oh,
my
I
god,
should
why
know
am I
this off the
drawing a
top of my
blank?
head.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god. She was also in uh Star Wars,
Oh my god.
the Last Jedi.
Whatever. I can't think of her name. We got, but yeah. Are you looking it up?
I am. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, we're getting the and Jeff Goldblum, of course. Jeff Gold Gorgeous. He'll be back.
oh, he's so great. Oh my
So we'll
god, why
get
can't I find her
the
that
original
quickly? Laura Dern.
Laura Dern, yeah. The
She
original
plays
cast. Hey,
Dr.
hey.
L.
Shh.
Dr. Ellie.
The
Yeah, keep
original
going.
cast with the new cast merging in this movie. It'll be fantastic.
And then
Go.
also from there
Move
we
on.
get to see Lightyear.
Uh,
The Buzz Lightyear prequel
Chris
that
Chris Evans
no
as
one asked for, but everyone actually needs.
yeah.
It's gonna be great. I think it looks fantastic. It looks just incredible.
I just don't know why they. I love Chris Evans. Don't get me wrong, love you, bro. But why'd they switch? If it's a voice casting movie, why didn't they go with the original voice? It's
I
curious.
have my theories. I'm not gonna say it on camera or recording. Um, and then from there, going into July. Sorry, I didn't know how to get through that
I know
conveniently.
exactly what you're gonna say.
I
But
know you
anyway.
do.
I almost said it and I stopped.
Uh-huh.
Anyways,
Has nope. Okay, and then going into July, we're supposed to get the next in the Despicable Me / Minions franchise. I never watched the Minions
yeah.
like
If you
solo
have
film.
kids, I'm sure it's great. If
Yeah,
you
it'll
don't,
be there.
whatever.
And if you don't, then you can just wait a week and then go see
Yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder, which
Woo!
can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about, and as we get closer to it, we will talk about it. But it's gonna be
Oh yeah.
great. Let's just be honest.
We'll dive into it. Maybe we'll even do a deep
Deep vibe,
dive,
yeah, deep
a
vibe.
and go over the Thor movies leading into that. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm fucking
It's gonna be
stoked for that movie.
great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Taika Waititi.
Yes.
And then after that, we do get the next Jordan Peele horror film.
I know nothing about
It's
this
called
movie.
Nope. No one
Yeah.
knows anything about it. That's what's great about it. All that we have is a movie poster, and it's some ominous cloud and like a trail of what looks like bodies floating up to the cloud. That's all
Yeah.
we know.
And the
But
cloud just goes, nope.
and Get Out
Just kidding.
and Us, like those alone should be enough to let you know that this is going to be fantastic. It's going to expand on what the horror film genre looks like.
Wait, did you like Us?
I didn't watch Us because
Oh,
I don't like horror films.
I didn't like it. I saw it in theaters. I loved Get Out so much that I was like, this movie's gonna be fantastic. And I went and saw it and I was like, well, that was super lame.
You might have overhyped it, but also
Yeah.
I haven't seen Us, so I can't like truly talk on it.
You did see Get Out though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I mean, and this is from someone that does not like horror films.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. Jordan Peele is
Yeah.
just fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel terrible if I've. It is Jordan Peele, not Keegan Key, right? Okay, cool. Keegan Michael Key. Okay, good. Just making sure that I'm not just like making an ass of my health.
The
of myself.
shorter one is
Jordan Peele.
Peele. Yeah.
And then after that, we get Black Adam, which, you know, it's a movie with The Rock. We don't know much else past that other than it's supposed to tie into like Shazam and stuff like that, but like,
Yeah.
that's about it.
We're also supposed to get like Hawkman and Hawkgirl are supposed to be in it as well and shit.
No
Yeah.
shit.
So
Okay.
there will be more to it than just Black Adam being like, hey, I'm Dwayne
Gonna
Johnson.
fuck shit up.
I work out.
Work out.
Brum, 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 brum,
All right.
brum. So we're also supposed to get a Lord of the Rings TV series coming soon, which I'm pretty stoked about.
Yeah, it's supposed to kind of like follow like the Silmarillion books, you know, like before The Hobbit, before all that. We'll see. Amazon Prime is doing it, so like I mean they have the money. I mean they take
Yeah.
what $150 a year from the people that don't want to pay for shipping. What? I'm not salty or bitter at all. No, actually, I benefit greatly from Amazon Prime. But we're supposed to get, you know, a series from that as well. And then, you know, in September, we're supposed to get what's called Salem's Lot as a film. You know more about this, Jake.
Stephen King. They made a movie a while back. I believe Donald Sutherland was in it. But yeah, it's a vampire movie. Stephen King vampire movie. I'm pretty excited about this. I never read
Stephen King is dope.
I never watched the movie, but I read the book and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm a Stephen King fan. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
And then we're supposed to get another Mission Impossible film,
Woohoo!
which is
Tom
just going to
Cruise
be
is unstoppable.
Top Gun Part 37. No, Tom Cruise, for all the shit I talk about him, I like the Mission Impossible films. I like the things that he like produces.
Yeah.
I also do greatly respect the fact that he wants to do as many of his own stunts as possible.
Not as many of his own stunts as possible, like all of his stunts.
Right.
Even the crazy ones.
Like he hangs from outside of the plane.
Like literally being strapped to a fucking airplane while it takes off. He
And
did that
hanging on
in
the
Mission
outside.
Impossible 5, where he's hanging onto the side of the airplane. Granted, he wasn't actually just hanging on.
He had a
strapped
harness,
to it.
but
like that's
still
fucking
did it.
crazy. His dedication to film, I love it. Whatever you call
Also,
him crazy,
I mean,
I call him amazing.
going back to like the Top Gun film that's coming out, like he learned how to fly an
Yeah,
F-16 in the last Mission Impossible. He
Yeah.
learned how to fly a helicopter and how to safely barrel roll it.
Yeah,
He's also one of the few I think he's one of 4 or 5 civilians to ever complete a halo jump, which they
Yeah.
filmed
In Mission Impossible
in the
5.
last Mission Impossible, which is,
And he
for
will
those
be
of you
the
who don't know what a halo jump is, it's high altitude, low
yeah.
opening. Basically, you jump from above 5,000 feet, you open it with less than 1,000 feet. Continue. He will be
He
what?
he will also be the first actor to film a space movie in space. He's working with Elon Musk right now, and they're gonna film an entire movie actually in space. That's
Oh, it's the entire movie? I
crazy.
thought it was just supposed to be like a scene or several scenes.
No, the movie
Oh
is
my
in
God.
space. They're gonna film the whole thing in space. It's insane. The movie The Mummy, the remake of The Mummy, where
Mhm.
they crashed the plane and they were like flipping around and bouncing off the walls on the plane. They literally took the plane up, shut the plane off, and fucking nosedived that plane so that they were filming in like zero gravity. Like that
Yeah,
whole scene is like legit.
that is a
And
thing where you can like pay to go on a zero G
yeah,
plane where they basically they ride the highs and lows
yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah,
air.
yeah,
I can't, I'm blanking on the
yeah.
words, but
It's
like
fine.
basically with their acceleration and deceleration in uh
They literally said
air.
the cast and crew were like, they would land and they would all like start puking and shit, and Tom Cruise is like, "Let's go again." like, like, I think that's amazing. I think he's a good actor. I don't think he has done anything in a while that has been breathtakingly like performance wise.
Yeah,
He
where it
has
moves you like as an actor. But
he
like
has done movies like that I'm like, oh my god, he's such a good actor. But lately he's just like, I'm just gonna do a bunch of crazy shit because I'm Tom Cruise.
I'm gonna push the boundaries because I can afford to push the boundaries, and
Yeah.
I'm willing to take on the risk, and
Mm-hmm.
it pays off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't gone into a Mission Impossible movie, I don't know, in years and been like, this is gonna be garbage.
Yeah.
Like just knowing what I know about Tom
It's just
Cruise, it's
fun.
like he actually did that shit, and it
Yeah.
captivates you. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Wait.
Storyline. Do you want to do a shot?
I mean, I poured one. I thought you said you wanted to
Oh,
do
we
one.
can do a we can do a
That-
shot off camera.
I
Just
could
give
I
me a
could have
second.
swore you said when we pause next, I want to do another shot. So I poured
Yeah,
one.
that's right. We did do that. Let's get through the month of October really
Yeah.
quickly because right after Mission Impossible, we are supposed to get Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which is the sequel to
Into the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
So the animated, yeah.
I can't
Very
remember the
exciting.
last time that just knowing that this movie is in existence, I've been
Yeah.
so excited.
Oh, and this is what we talked about earlier, that this will be Oscar Isaac. If you watched the first one, the after credit scene is Spider-Man 2099 voicing by Oscar Isaac saying, like, let's do this one more time. And then they drop his comic book, and that's the end of it.
Mhm.
So, and then in this preview for this movie, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. They show Spider-Man 2099, his name is Miguel, fighting with Miles through different like planes of
Existence with
Spider Verses.
different
Yeah,
animation styles. It looks. Oh my god! It looks absolutely. And we talked about this like earlier on the podcast, but
and if he doesn't
fuck.
have fangs, I'm going to be pissed because Spider-Man 2099 has fangs.
Like teeth fangs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not talking about like the long like Batman-esque like
No,
forearm.
he has like he's like a mutation of the spider that bit
Yeah.
Peter Parker. Yeah, so he has like fangs.
Yeah, we'll see how that actually goes. I'm super excited about it. Do you want to just like push through this before we do that shot that we
Push.
talked about off
Yeah,
camera?
push
Sorry.
it.
Push it real good. Bam, 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 bam.
We're already in
bam,
November.
bam.
Like, yeah, let's get through it.
We also will get. We talked about Halloween Kills and stuff like that this year. We're supposed to get Halloween Ends. They've been great. we'll see how this story actually goes. We kind of have our theories, and we talked about it earlier this year.
Yeah.
And then going into November, we're supposed to get The Flash, which we'll see. We were so excited about this movie until like recent
There's
news,
there's a recent depressing news about this.
like this week that we saw.
This movie, the Flash movie, is not only going to probably not be very good, but it's
I have
going
high hopes for
to.
it to be good. But
I
we'll
wanted
see.
it to be good because I'm like Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. That's amazing. Uh, but this movie is going to erase everything that Zack Snyder ever did.
Supposedly,
So we're gonna lose Henry Cavill as Superman.
we'll
The
probably still get Jason Momoa and what's her
yeah,
shitty tits.
Gal Gadot. Oh, you mean?
No, not Gal Gadot. I love Gal Gadot. You shut your mouth. No,
I thought you were
Amber
talking about
Whore.
like the main characters.
No,
Who gives a
Amber
shit about
Whore.
Amber Heard?
Amber Whore. Say it right.
We're gonna lose Ben Affleck as Batman. We're gonna lose Henry Cavill as Superman. Which this is a thing for me because
It's
on one hand,
double-bladed sword.
I hate to lose Henry Cavill as Superman, but on the other hand, he has been strung along so long by fucking this company that like I love
What
Henry
company?
Cavill.
You
I
can
think
say
he's
Warner Brothers. I think you can say Warner Brothers with
yeah,
confidence here.
fuck Warner Brothers. I just want him to just soar high. Just do better shit.
Him and Andy Serkis are the king of nerds.
Yeah.
At this point in time, like Henry Cavill deserves to like be just praised on the highest of highs as the king of nerds.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna race him as Superman, like we'll get better nerd
we'll just
content
get Henry
from him.
Cavill in like better shit. Because honestly,
I'm sure we'll see him in the
thing.
MCU.
The WB just kind of sucks dicks at making DC movies.
They do. And I like that you call it the WB because when you say the WB, all I think is that super
TV series.
Just the TV channel.
Yeah.
With like that super like corny like WWWWB like the skit scatting jazz frog. Like dub dub skip doop boop boop WB. Like that's all I think of.
It's really upsetting. And then they're also erasing Ben Affleck's Batman and making Michael Keaton's Batman be the new Batman, who's going to pass the torch to Batgirl. Which I'm fine with a female cast. I'm just really upset with.
But also, like, it's not Barbara Gordon, so it's like even because it's supposed to be the same girl that is currently playing Batgirl on the CW.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Supposedly.
That's dumb. Oh.
Supposedly. If they do it...
If that's the case, bring Tom Welling back.
Yeah, but also if that's the case, like... how about Batman Beyond? Because with an older... I would be okay with that. But if they're just going to pass it down just to, like, the nearest relevant thing, like, do...
Terry McGinnis.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne and
Michael
Keaton.
And there's still room for Batgirl. Like, don't get me wrong. There's still room for Batgirl. But if you're missing a huge opportunity to bring in the Batman Beyond story with an older Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. But the biggest annoyance is that they're erasing Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck.
I mean, that's Batman really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And then, as of right now, we don't have official release dates. But so far, the only thing that's slated for December is Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, with what we know about The Flash, kind of a bummer. And by kind of, I mean super bummer. Because that also means that on top of Jason Momoa's Arthur Curry, we still have Amber Heard. Sorry, Amber Whore. I mispronounced her name. You make that face that I was saying that all last month, and by last month I mean when we're talking about November releases.
No, fucking whatever, dude. She's the worst.
Yeah, not great, bro. Not great.
Yeah, I don't know what DC's doing or what Warner Brothers are doing. WB.
The
Other than
WWE.
making fans
Skip it, but
really
it at
upset.
Warner Brothers.
Other than making fans really upset, I don't know what they're doing.
I still hope that the Flash movie is good,
I hope
despite the
it's
fact
good.
that I'm not a huge fan of Ezra Miller.
No, he's a piece of shit. Fucking
Yeah, not great.
hitting. Yeah,
Punching
whatever. I won't get
fans.
into
I
it.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. Him and Amber Heard should just be together and just like, you know, Thelma and Louise just drive off a cliff or
Ezra
something.
Miller doesn't even want Amber Heard.
Jason Momoa doesn't even want Amber Heard. He
That's
went
true.
online and said so, like, fire this bitch. Not in those words. I won't quote that, but yeah.
But also because there's like a very viable, realistic replacement of someone who is good.
Amelia.
Yeah, bring in Amelia Clark. I mean, Warner Brothers being cheap in the fact that they have the deal with HBO Max where all their movies are going to be co-released for streaming, you know, but like they can still get rid of Amber Heard and bring in Amelia Clark. They just don't want to pay for reshoots. But hopefully, if you know the Flash doesn't erase Aquaman 2, which is slated to come out afterwards and
No,
whatever.
I'm pretty sure Aquaman and because Wonder Woman's already set for she's supposed to be in Shazam too. And she also has the third movie is already like in pre-production.
Well, I love Gal
So
Gadot. I mean,
I do too. Even though
1984 sucked.
I was gonna say, even though I thought the second movie was a bag of dicks.
Yeah, it was very like it was a letdown. Is really what it comes down to. It was not great.
Do better.
Yeah, do better.
That's
I
kind
get
of
what
been
they were trying for, but they didn't do it.
the ongoing thing with Warner Brothers has been with DC has been we have a good movie and then we make a shit movie. And then we make a good movie and get everybody like, okay, all right, they fucked up once, but you know, this one was good. And then they fucking make another shit movie and you're like, okay, this is fucking dumb. And then they make another good movie and you're like, all right, fine, okay, like let's see if, you know, they'll get their shit together. And then they make a shit movie and you're like, you know,
And then they're
goddamn
like,
it.
"Oh, we'll release the director's cut from the original director." And like,
This is better than everything you've ever done.
this was better. It was way too long, but it's better, and we want more of this. And then they're like, "Oh, honey, no,
No,
honey,
yeah,
sweetie boo boo, we're gonna erase, we're gonna erase everything that was good about this, and we'll try again." And then people are like,
and like,
"Oh,
and the fucked up
Marvel."
thing is that they're gonna fire everybody and erase all of that before they even know if the new shit is gonna be any good. We might all see that and be like, "Bomb! You guys fucked up again." And then they're gonna be like, "Oh man, can we bring Henry back in?" And he's gonna be like, "Nah, I got better shit to do."
I have a deal. I have two deals, one with Netflix and one with Marvel.
Yeah.
At that point in time,
Captain Britain, my fingers across, Henry. I would love to see you in the MCU, please.
I would love to see him in just about any role, but Captain Britain makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
There have been, I think, probably zero Marvel upcoming projects where I've been like, I have zero hope. There have been a couple things where I'm like,
well, in the
we'll
MCU,
yeah, MCU,
no. Yeah, definitely Marvel projects.
The lowest thing since we've started the podcast where I've had the least amount of hope was Hawkeye, and I loved it because I thought it was gonna be a cliche like, oh, Christmas, and it was really just like a short form character story, and I was like, boom.
You know what? I thought
I liked it better than Black Widow, and I loved Black Widow.
Yeah, I thought my least favorite was gonna be Loki because I was like, what are they gonna do with Loki? Like, who
oh my god, that was like one of the best.
It is to date over everything, Hawkeye and everything. I love Hawkeye, but
the TV shows, it's my favorite. Hands
Loki
down.
is my favorite TV show so far. Yeah.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, and I just remember going into it like, what are they gonna do with Loki? He's just gonna be a fucking long haired twat and being Loki, and it was the best fucking show so far. I was like, oh my
Hands
god, it's so
hands
good.
down.
There is. Have you watched the? This is completely off topic and has nothing to do with anything. But have you watched the? I don't know if you noticed, but in the TV series Loki, Tom Hiddleston flips his hair a lot, like upward, like whoosh, and somebody put together like a fucking montage of all of his hair flips in the series, and it's the best thing ever.
God, no, I have not seen that, but I wish I had. Um, but with that, I mean,
Sorry,
sorry
guys.
guys, we got really off topic. There's a lot coming out for us nerds in the year 2022, and so
We'll be here
there's
for all of it.
we will be here for all of it. Also, welcome to season 2, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, woohoo!
Yeah, nothing's changed yet. We'll
No,
we'll we'll get to some the changes later.
no.
But welcome to season 2. With that being said, we should really get into our second sponsor, which is Raise Energy Drinks, which is a fantastic energy drink with 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash. There's so much more than just the energy drinks, including like protein, pre-workout, all the stuff for y'all healthy people that don't involve chicken nuggets made from plants regularly, aka me. But yeah, so we'll be right back with you. But listen up to save 15% on some Raise energy drinks, and we'll be right back with you to talk about some Harry Potter. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, guys, we are going to continue our deep dive into the Harry Potter films / books with Goblet of Fire. Fuck. This is a good one.
Goblet of Fire. I don't know if this is officially the largest book in this series, but it's pushing 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
It is a hefty motherfucker of a book.
Goblet of Fire is awesome.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, how does the movie start, Chad? Let's go from there. I'm just gonna.
It basically starts with Harry with the Weasleys and Hermione going to the Quidditch World Cup. Which is between the Irish, which is basically Ron's family basically lives in Ireland, even though they don't have the Irish accent. Versus is it the Hungarians? I'm pretty sure it's the Hungarians. Yeah. But so they go to the Quidditch World Cup, which is great. We actually get to see like brief moments of Quidditch not played by Hogwarts students,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Hmm.
But
But
shortly after that, what
yeah.
happens?
Well, I was gonna say right before that, we do get to meet Cedric Diggory.
Yeah, Diggory.
Diggory?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cedric blah, 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 Diggory. Played by Pattinson himself, Robert Pattinson. So that's
You
kind of
mean
cool.
Edward. You mean Edward?
Edward. You were Team Edward, weren't you?
Well, yeah, because I'm not a fan of team giant CGI dogs.
You just wanted glitter all over your cack.
Well, yeah, and I'm not a fan of like, I don't know, grooming children.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, I'm talking shit about the Twilight series.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyways,
looking at you, Team Jacob.
huh? What?
Not you, Jacob. Team
I've
Jacob.
never imprinted on a baby. I promise.
Oh, good.
That's fucked up.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not good.
No, it's weird.
It's not great.
It's very weird. Who wrote that book?
Very wrong.
They should check into that person.
Mm. So, not
Spit it out, Chief. Come on.
well. It's not great because it paints My Chemical Romance in a bad way, but it's not their fault. It's not Gerard Way's fault. Basically, for those of you that want to go back far enough, Gerard Way lived in New Jersey. He is the singer-songwriter of My Chemical Romance. He witnessed 9/11, decided I should pursue what I love because of the fact that he witnessed something terrible, started a band, became this icon for the emo pop punk phase of the early 2000s, inspired. God, I can't even remember this bitch's name because it's so insignificant to my life. The person that wrote Twilight.
Yeah.
And that's why we have Twilight, and then fan fiction turned into 50 Shades of Grey.
No.
It's not great, the fact that Gerard Way actually started a band. He should have just stuck with graphic design and comics, and then the Umbrella Academy could have still happened without shiny vampires and giant dogs that can be called werewolves and 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. Or like 20-year-olds who had crushes on newborn babies. So
Yeah, that too.
that's what happened. I don't know if you saw them.
I know what happened.
Unfortunately,
I saw the first two films, and then that current relationship that I was in, I was like, done.
yeah.
So I only saw the first two Twilight films, but
This is way off track, but
Robert
unfortunately,
Pattinson, yeah,
unfortunately, I dated somebody. Unfortunately, I dated somebody. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. I dated somebody in my early 20s that was into this shit. She was a little younger than me, of
the
age, of
Twilight
course,
films,
but
the
yeah.
Twilight
Uh,
films.
but she was very into the Twilight films, and I watched them all, and I was so pissed at these fucking movies. That's all I want to say about it. They were terrible.
Robert Pattinson even like he can go as far as denying that he's in these films as he can in any sort of interview. Like he just wants to forget that this happened.
Yeah. I mean, you
Good for
can't.
him.
I mean, good.
I mean, it made him famous.
It got you to where you are, and that's Batman, and we're excited about it. So fuck
And
yeah.
I mean, and like The Lighthouse, even as far back as Water for Elephants. I really enjoyed that movie about like the Ringling Brothers and
I didn't see it.
well, of course you weren't vegan. I say that as I don't eat meat either. But I mean, he was in like he's been in a lot of great projects and a lot of great movies that have nothing to do with the Twilight, but like he's overshadowed by it, and it's really
Yeah.
unfortunate.
We got
With that being said,
we're
I
way
know
off
we got
topic.
way off topic, super fast, but also like just burning your guys' time.
Yeah.
With that,
Uh,
we do get introduced to the Death Eaters during
mhm,
the Quidditch
mhm.
World Cup, which is
Yeah.
basically
Voldemort's like
Voldemort's.
loyal
Yeah,
bitches.
yeah,
Yeah.
his major supporters,
Yeah.
like the Grand Wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't call him the Grand Wizard, but I mean, for those of you that are, as the kids say, awake.
Yeah.
Uh,
We also get to meet one of my favorite characters in the series, Mad Eye Moody.
oh
He's the
my
best.
God,
I
he's
love him.
so great. He's
Yeah.
the newest Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. If you
Because
guys haven't
as we've
noticed,
mentioned
we
before,
get one every year.
yeah, there's a different dark arts teacher every year.
I think next week or the next Harry Potter film that we talk about, I can finally tell why for those of you that have not read the books.
Yeah.
But so Mad Eye is the newest Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and he's fucking great. He's
Yeah.
basically a crazy old motherfucker.
He's a cranky old man. I love it. I can relate.
Yeah, he doesn't want the youths hanging out on his lawn.
Yeah.
Like he just
You
doesn't.
goddamn shysters! Get off my lawn. I love it.
It's
I can't wait to yell at kids for
fantastic.
stepping on my lawn.
But with that being said, I mean, like this entire movie is based on the Tri-Wizard Tournament.
Mm.
Basically, it comes down to three magical European schools come together to compete in highly OSHA
The Goblet of Fire.
offensive. What?
The Goblet of Fire.
Oh, Goblet of Fire. Oh, okay, I hear you.
Goblet of Fire.
It's basically 100. This entire tournament is just a giant OSHA regulation. Basically, hey, let's put teenagers in very jeopardizing
Yeah. Let's make them
circumstances
fight dragons.
to start.
Yeah. That's the first trial.
And then the second one, they're like, let's put them underwater for an hour and
Yeah.
let magical underwater creatures, mermaids,
Yeah.
drown them and their
Mhm.
loved ones.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, hey, let's put them in a maze
That'll make you kill each other.
and
Woo!
just go crazy and, face your worst fears to where you think you're facing something that's just absolutely terrible. But instead, I don't know, you're killing each other.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
just do that. It's great. And the worst part is that Harry somehow gets put into this even though he's too young. And then the Minister of Magic, aka the president, who probably didn't win by popular vote, but like in electoral college once, is like, nope, he's part of it now. And then from there, they're like, "Oh, you mean there's like a chance to like kill someone underage that doesn't fit in? Let's
Basically,
heavily police it."
Harry
No,
and
that's real life. Oh, I went too far.
Harry and Cedric get into some shit. Basically,
They really did Cedric dirty, like in the movies, because like in
they
the
did, yeah,
book, Cedric
yeah,
is like a badass, and like
yeah,
not to use a common vernacular, but he's a true ally.
yeah. He's nicer to Harry in the books than he is in the movie, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
but I want to we got to kind of fly through this. We're
yeah.
dragging
We
time
wasted
on
a
here.
lot of time talking about like all the things to look forward to. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
basically, Harry and Cedric are in the maze. They're like kind of the last two standing. Harry saves Cedric because Cedric's about to get gobbled up by some maze
He's about to
stuff.
get got.
Yeah, and Harry saves him instead of going for the port key. And then Cedric's like, "Hey, you grab it. You saved my life. You won." And Harry's like, "Let's do it together." And they grab they don't know it's a port key at the time. Sorry, they grab the
And for
goblet. It
those of you
turns
that
out,
don't know, who haven't read the books, a portkey, as Jake mentioned, it's basically like a magical item that has been cursed to be like a transportation device.
yeah. So they grab it together. They get transferred to a cemetery where none other than Voldemort and Peter Pettigrew are there. Voldemort is like maybe the size of a basketball at this point.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
he's a corporeal baby.
yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, it's creepy.
No, it's not. It's not us being
It's
weird.
very creepy.
uh, and then Peter puts him in a cauldron, cuts off his own hand.
But Cedric
Voldemort.
also gets. Cedric was clearly, even though he's a Hufflepuff and should be wearing yellow, he was
Yeah,
definitely wearing his red shirt
yeah,
for this part of the maze. He just gets bodied.
yeah. By Voldemort himself. Voldemort kills him.
I think it's technically Peter Pettigrew that kills him, but it's because Voldemort's like, kill the boy.
Oh yeah. Maybe I'd
Yeah,
have to rewatch.
I just watched this like 2 days ago because
Okay. Yeah.
it was the holidays and I had nothing else to do. Ohio.
Yeah.
But so basically, Cedric dies very
Yeah.
unfortunately because like he was a very enjoyable character, and Voldemort turns from like a Thanksgiving turkey sized scrangly ass bitch into
A very
Ralph Fiennes, Rafe Fiennes, as I learned.
yeah. Don't.
Also, if you guys haven't seen the reunion on HBO Max, I mean, watch it. It's so enjoyable. If you guys grew up on these films like we did, like watch it. There's a lot of emotions, but I also learned how to correctly pronounce Ralph Fiennes, who was Voldemort, into Rafe
Yeah.
Fiennes.
It's like a
Even
rape
though it's R.
vines.
I don't want to get into this. You already ruined Ralph Fiennes for me once tonight. But it's spelt Ralph, Ralf, or no, Ralph.
But it
But it's
sounds like
pronounced rape. Rafe. Sorry, Rafe. I said it.
it sounds like Epstein's plane
I
or something like
stuttered.
that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like Epstein Island. I mean Rafe Fiennes.
Yeah.
I hope you're wrong.
I'm not.
I don't.
You can look it up.
We.
Epstein's little black book has his name in there.
I know. I will. I just hope that you're wrong because I have love this dude as an actor.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Well, I mean, you could, yeah. Whatever.
we get Voldemort like as his full adult body, snake face,
Yeah.
and we get a duel between Harry and Voldemort, which is pretty cool because like they are casting spells back and forth, and then their wands connect.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. It creates for a really cinematic experience of like the red versus green.
Yeah.
Ironically, versus like what you would expect from like Star Wars. The red is like the good guys, green is the bad guys.
Yeah.
But it's like this back and forth, and it's really
We also
cinematic. It's really great. Yeah, go
Harry's
for it.
parents and Cedric come out of the connection of the wands. And basically his parents are like, "Hey, we'll hold him for as long as we can." Like, and Cedric's like, "Hey, man, take my body back to my dad." And Harry's like, "I."
And it's not Willem Dafoe from The Lighthouse. It's some other British guy.
No, it's awesome. And Harry takes the port key, and Cedric's body goes back to the tournament. Basically, everyone's like, "Woo, we have a winner!" And then they realize that Cedric is dead, and yeah,
Yeah,
sad.
and it's not great. And it
And
turns
it was
out
sad.
it was very sad. Oh my god. Like I've known about this scene for obviously years because
Mhm.
I grew up on these films, but when I just rewatched it, like now that I'm old enough, I don't have kids, but I'm old enough to have kids. Like witnessing uh Cedric's father like react to seeing his son's dead body, like it broke me.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!" Like his howling and his heartbreak of being like, "That's my boy, like that's my son." I was like, this shit fucking hits. Also, with like these movies, like it really defines like in the series, like this is the end of like innocence
Yeah.
for like the characters of the
They
Harry
get
Potter
darker
series.
and darker as the movies go on, for sure.
But like this really is like a coming of age, end of innocence movie,
Mm-hmm.
which I really enjoyed. But from there, like Mad Eye takes Harry like to the dark arts professor's like office, and
Mm-hmm.
it turns out to be what, Jake?
Junior. I forget the what was his name.
Barty Crouch Jr. He's basically
Yeah.
like the second in command for the Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
The
And
Ministry of
he
Magic's
has
second
been,
in command's son.
yeah,
Sorry, not to
and
cut you
he's
off again.
been, no, you're fine. He's been for impersonating Mad Eye Moody the whole time, and yeah, it's awesome because we get to see Dumbledore, Snape, and
Maggie Smith, McGonagall.
yeah, yeah, basically bust in the room, whip his ass. It was cool.
Yeah, and it turns out that Mad Eye has been, like you said, has been impersonated by Barty Crouch Jr.,
Hmm.
meaning that he's not the real Mad Eye.
Yeah. Never
Uh,
has been. And you
Never
can
has
kind of
been.
tell throughout the if you even if you haven't read the books, they do like a flashback scene where you see Junior and he's kind of like doing this like thing with his tongue. And
Yeah, like flicking it like he's a snake, even though he's
yeah.
definitely a human.
And they show Moody kind of does that a lot too, which is why you kind of know that that's who it is. But
Yeah.
uh super cool. The ending of the movie. Take it away, Chad, with the Dumbledore. We've spent way too long on this
Yeah, I
episode.
know. Dumbledore basically, like, we get rid of the fake Mad Eye, which is it's done really well. Fun fact: David Tennant plays Barty Crouch Jr. in this
Woo!
movie, who is also the Doctor for Doctor Who. He was
Was now it's the girl now.
yeah,
Uh,
he was the season 10 Doctor.
yeah.
When he came in was in season 10 of Doctor Who. Ironically, when Barty Crouch Jr. is first introduced and sentenced to prison in Harry Potter was in chapter 10. It's a fun little fan theory, fan connection. But with that being said, I mean, we get a little bit of justice. It's fantastic. And then that's basically where this movie ends. Is kind of it is
Oh no, I was talking about tell about the Dumbledore. This is not
oh
a good image.
it's not. But Dumbledore does talk about Harry's like there was a moment when I was fighting Dumbledore where our wands connected. I just messed up all those names. Harry
Hmm.
tells
Hmm.
Dumbledore that when he was fighting Voldemort that their wands connected, and Dumbledore was like, "Oh, you saw your parents." And they made a comment about how it's like super rare, and it's because Harry and Voldemort share in their wands. The core of their wands came from the same
Mm.
phoenix the same Phoenix,
Yeah.
which kind of also shows like how connected Harry and Voldemort are, because it goes all the way down to their wands.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that as we finish out this series. I'm sorry for fucking that shit up for you guys.
Oh, I don't give a shit. This is hilarious. This is why I think this podcast is so fun and funny.
And
is
why
that
people like it, because we
the
just
drunker we get,
shit
the
up.
dumber we get. Yeah.
But
it's
also we
hilarious.
get more nerdy as it
Yeah.
goes. We get more in depth into things, but then we can't explain it because we're too drunk for it. It's fantastic. But from there, I mean, that's basically where the movie ends. And it sets us up really well for the 5th movie and book, which we will get into.
Order of the Phoenix is one of...
We will get into that, I would say, next week.
I think so, yeah.
The next week, 2 weeks tops.
We have Boba Fett to get through and some Witcher stuff and also these movies. There's so much nerd shit happening right now. It's amazing.
It's a great time to be a nerd. It really is. But with that being said, I mean, we're going to go ahead and close out this episode.
Well, before we do, we want to talk about our Patreon page and our web store.
Yeah, both can be found in the show notes as well as links on our social media pages. And with that, I mean, like we mentioned earlier, I mean, welcome to season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, we've kind of been growing and developing how we do this podcast over the past year. And we're just going to keep doing that. And season 2 has, more guests, more of everything, more segments. We're just going to grow.
I would also say, hopefully, if we can listen for us on maybe Spotify advertisements, we're going to start getting into advertising the podcast a little more. So listen up, tell your friends, please.
And even if you already listen and you hear an ad for us, like, click on that ad. It'll just help us. That's about it. Otherwise, I mean, thank you guys so much for being here. I mean, we're rounding out a full year of this podcast. I mean, we only have like 3 to 4 weeks of since we started.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, the reason that we keep doing this is because people keep listening. So thank you. And with that being said, I mean, this has been the All Things Nerd podcast.
Blink.